Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are getting close, actually, to having pushed through all of this. Who's here? Space Amoebas? Okay, that's going to be a little bit before we can get there and do anything about that. 1,200, huh? We should probably send somebody over there. We have a bit of deficit on our alloys, and I think we're just going to send the Vigilant Swarm over, and it'll take them a while to get there. We should get started on it, and maybe by the time they get back, the board will be willing to let us upgrade them. But we have a lot of things that we're working on right now. We're upgrading this to a Starhold. We are, let's see here, all of the rest of these are pretty much upgraded. Dongar is not. Okay, we should definitely put in a pair of trade hubs here. And once we have enough in Off-World Trading Company, which we'll have enough on the next month tick, let's bump it up to fast speed. There we go. And Off-World Trading Company. Fantastic. Okay, so high awareness in Hasela.
Upscaling
sure.
complete.
Edamar is done being built at this point, and we can build our mining station there. We do need to continue pushing out. I would like to get Vernier under our control. Standardized destroyer patterns. The board is very in favor of making our defense more efficient. So standardized Corvette patterns is something we will take as well for Corvettes and frigates. I like it. That's looking very, very good. And we have this guy here heading into the Jaundice system. He is getting close, but our influence levels are still pretty low. Our main concern right now, though, comes down to alloys. Alloys and consumer goods. Those are our main problem right now. We're definitely working on it. We're building a pair of research things
actualized.
here. That's fine. And food processing facilities, that's okay too. Tile blocker clearance is good. Naval cap from soldier jobs would be very, very good. Do we have any soldier jobs right now? If we did, they'd be here. We do, actually, from this stronghold. So the economic argument for doing this is this will increase our naval cap by like 4, bringing us up to 100, and reduce our increased maintenance costs. So the board is actually behind this. I like it. Now, we're still fighting with the board. They've kind of forgotten a little bit. It's been a few years. They've forgotten that it's a dangerous galaxy out there. We just capped out our minor artifacts. Okay, we definitely should do something about that. So what do we want to do with it? We could celebrate diversity and gain some unity? Or just get an Elgate insight. And that's what we'll do for now. That will keep us from being capped there. Sounds good. We do have a tile blocker that we can clear out over here. I want to go through all of these and clear any tile blockers that we can. In fact, a lot of these newer settled worlds do have tile blockers that we can clear out. We can't clear that archaeological site, right? That needs to be, you know, cleared via archaeology. But what else do we have here? None of these have tile blockers. So other than the archaeological site, that is all of our tile blockers being cleared. Magnificent. The cache compose is just sitting in Edamar, and I want it to go into Daglon. There we go. We do need to grab these territories over here, but we need to keep in mind all of these border locations are places that for now, these militant isolationists are not going to let us take. For now. We'll be able to fight them eventually. We've traced the wiring to a temple complex devoted to the worship of the Oracle and her clergy in the station's central node. But in the Oracle's chambers, instead of a divine entity, resides an enormous AI nexus of the Oracle brand. Servers, huh? Okay. Wires extend from its core like a nervous system through the entire station. I mean, it makes sense in this situation for it to be an Oracle computer, I suppose. I'm just not a fan. Secret communications between the inhabitants reveal that there was a failed attempt at storming the temple and deactivating the Nexus. It seems likely the society collapsed when it became known that their lives were not governed by divine will, but by a prophetic computer. Restarting the Nexus will require extensive repairs. Cool. So, how are we doing on basically everything else? Consumer goods are the problem at this point. We could grab the rail guns. Cruiser hull points would be pretty good as well. There isn't really anything in this that is a good tech or a good economic upgrade. So the board is not going to stop us from choosing a military upgrade if we don't really have another option. The board is actually not in favor of robot workers. Why have robot workers when we could have slaves, is the board's opinion on that. So, fair enough. I mean, robot workers are probably going to cause additional problems, but I mean, we'll probably have an uprising from both, to be honest. So let's go for railguns for the time being. The board is giving us the green light on that one. Cool. So the Cash Compose, this drops to partially aware. Cool. The Crash Compose is going to build a starbase in Daglon, and we also want to build one in Jaundice, but we're lacking a lot of influence. The Tuxcan entity declared on the Picklings again. So, okay, we need to call a board meeting here. Look, guys. We are currently 2 systems away from having a border with the Tuxcan entity. They are cordial to us, but that probably won't stop them from attacking us. We got to do something about this, board. We need to be prepared. The board sort of agrees. The board mostly said, we'll give you a little bit more leeway in doing defensive actions. But, yeah, look at these fleets. But, they said that we're mostly going to see what happens with this war. If we get a border with the Tuxcan entity, the board agreed to full pivot to a military focus. But only if that happens. So for now, what are we going to do? Well, none of these are really economic upgrades. We're going to go for UV lasers here. They did give us permission to do a little bit of preemptive action. Only a little. I do feel like we need to throw them an economic bone here. We could go for Starbase Cap or Edicts Fund. The orbital filing system sounds decent. We'll grab that for now. We're very concerned about this situation,
Upscaling
though. No doubt about that. So there's Daglon ready to go. We'll build our mining stations there. And we'll build a starbase over here in Jaundice eventually. Yeah, they're up to high awareness again. Ah, they're referring to us as Dwamox again. We will offer them minerals, and that way we don't have to defend ourselves from them. Cool. So the cash build really does need a lot of influence, right? I'm feeling like we should probably go down to a single construction ship fairly soon. Perhaps even now. We could head over to Escola, build the mining station, and then come back to Jaundice, and maybe we'll have enough influence by the time we get back. We'll see. It kind of depends on if we're making enough influence to actually keep this ship occupied or not. And I'm noticing that these guys have vanished at this point, the space amoebas that were here. So that's exciting. And now they're back. Okay, so we definitely need to deal with them. They're probably using the wormhole. Yeah, they're going through the wormhole. So that's fine. Do we have access to exploring wormholes at this point? We do. So we should pull a science ship up over here. And this one is currently excavating this archaeological site. I think we'll let it finish.
Research
and then
actualized.
after it's done with that, we'll move up to Daglon. Cool. Railguns are now done. And what do we want to go for next here? Standardized cruiser patterns. The board is very, very in favor of things that are hybrid, economic, and military. Cool. Technology continues to progress on Hesela 3 as industrialization takes their society to new heights. Their most recent breakthrough in engineering has revolutionized their use of transportation and brought them a step closer to planetary unification. Defying our prediction models, Hesela 3 is now a unified world. Pooling their resources, the people prioritize the well-being of the global community and living standards are rising. Cool, so they have unified themselves. And we'll gain a new insight technology? Is that randomly selected, or is it the technology that we currently have researching? This is brand new, 2 years worth of research. Okay, it takes a little bit, I think. But that's fine. For the time being, we're going to hop over to our mining world here. And we need a job. So I think that we're definitely going to put in mineral purification hubs. But we also need civilian industries here. We need to be cutting into our consumer goods deficit. This agro world here, a food processing facility, makes a lot of sense here. So that seems good. Our tech worlds can get a planetary capital. That will eventually allow us to build a research institute here. That looks very, very good. Cool. Okay, so we can grab trade value or market fee. We're going to take trade value first. That sounds excellent. So we've got some very, very good economic things coming in here. The board will be happy about that. The board is less happy by the fact that this is occupied by the Tuxcan entity. So we've got a UV laser here. What do we go for next? The answer here is potentially disruptors. But I think we're going to go for antimatter reactors. Cool. We're also banking up our alloys at this moment. I want to check in up here. Yeah, that's still upgrading to a Starhold. This is eventually going to need to upgrade to a Starhold as well. We'll get that queued up for right now. Yeah, they're back to partially aware. Okay, so our capital needs something. I'm going to put in an advanced research complex here. Do we need the anti-crime campaign here anymore? I don't think so. No, it's good. Okay, so that's fine. Our edicts fund goes up by 20. That is always good. Fleet command limit going up is not really what we want. We need naval cap at this point, so this will have to be what it is. Hydroponics farms and hydroponics bay. Finally. Okay. Well, now that we've got our food situation under control, sure. What did we get from that observation insight? Did we get an observation tech? I don't think we did.
Blocker liquidated.
These are just our
Blocker
Research Society
liquidated.
technologies. Did they change? Oh, it's tabbed down here. I'm dumb. I think they did change this. Railgun, and yeah, we didn't get anything here. Interesting. The unstable climate on Maradetta Prime has resulted in a severe drought that affects a significant portion of the planet. Colonists living in those regions have asked Entropy's Promise for financial aid to improve living conditions. So we could either give them a drought modifier, minus 20% happiness, or 375 energy credits. I don't care about that. They can have it. That's an irrelevant amount of funds. We will get more than that from their production over the course of that time. So that's a solid investment for us. I like it. These guys insulted us. Okay. Now we're going to be fighting the Spaceborne Organics here. Apparently a second group of Spaceborne Organics came through the Vernier wormhole. That's exciting. But we should be able to fight these relatively separately here. Yeah. Take out these amoebas.
Engaged.
And we'll fight them separately. It's no big deal. Cool. This is, of course, going to be our territory, not Space Amoeba territory. As soon as we're done with these mining stations, we'll head into Vernier and get that taken over. We'll need to explore that wormhole and figure out where they're coming from. Hydroponics farms and hydroponics bay is done. 5% amenities upgrade would be pretty good for our colonies. That would help their throughput a decent amount. So that's a nice economic upgrade we can throw at the board. I like it. We're going to take out these space amoebas as well, of course. And there they go. Beautiful. So we're just going to leave these guys here in orbit of the Vernier wormhole for now. Wait a second. Military fleets can explore wormholes now? Well, isn't that convenient? When did that change go through, I wonder? Huh. That is very convenient,
Blocker
actually.
Liquidated.
I haven't checked that in a really long time. Maybe that's old. I don't know. We do have a job needed on this tech world, easy enough. This is not helping our consumer goods, and we need to buy in more. The board is very not okay with that, and we need to work on our consumer goods situation. But we'll explore the natural wormhole here. It connects to Jevon's Maelstrom. Down over here in the Great Prosnikan Hierarchy. Okay, that's a little bit spicy. I guess as long as we're up here and military fleets can explore natural wormholes, I guess we'll come down over here and explore this one. We may as well. Look at these guys just chilling in Polaris. Okay. Cool.
Upscaling complete.
So we're finally done in Daglon. We're going to grab Vernier now. No problem whatsoever there. And there's a decent amount that we can still grab here. We can settle Vernier 4A. We can also settle Seraclus 2. We're going to head into Bardigan for sure. We're at 883 alloys at this moment. Collective waste management. Okay, sure. We're mostly abstaining from the galactic community, which is fine. The Galactic Council, do we support that? Everybody's supporting it. I guess we do too. That's okay. So we're grabbing the Vernier system here, and we're definitely going to colonize Vernier 4A. There's no doubt about that one. What do we need to reinforce our ships? 3589? Right. I feel like we should get these ships upgrading fairly soon. In fact, let's do it now. There we go. And we'll build these mining and research stations. Now, we're going to buy in additional alloys as an investment to colonize this tundra world. Not with robots. Okay. We'll send these guys on over. Like I said, slaves are better for us than robots, is the board's opinion. I don't know that I agree with that, but that is what the board thinks. Civilian replica complexes is definitely what we're going to take here to help our consumer goods situation. And it's a nice economic upgrade that we can throw at the board. But what we really do need to do is work on getting our ships a bit more upgraded. That said, I'm going to stop upgrading these. Why? Because we actually need to finish up this tech here and then rework our ships a bit. That's why. So,
research
there we go. That is now done. What do we want to grab here next? Gravitic sensors. We'll grab that quick. That'll be fine. That's not a major thing that we want to put in here, but we want to upgrade all of this. So we're still at level 1 nuclear missiles. We can grab the level 3 UV laser. That'll be fine. More power generation looks good. Plasma thrusters. Oh yeah, that'll be great. The basic cloaking field generator I don't think is necessary, and we don't have a higher level of armor at this point. So for now, that'll do. We want UV lasers level 3. We want rail guns level 3. We want level 4 power generation, level 3 thrusters. And beyond that, the rest of this looks pretty good. Okay. And now we'll do our cruisers. So level 3 lasers and level 3 railguns. Do we want to swap over from railguns to autocannon? The range on this is what? For the mediums. 0 to 35, 0 to 75. So it's much shorter range. We are currently advancing to medium range. We should probably run railguns. Probably. Let's bump up our power generation and our speed, and we'll call that good. Excellent. And now we can start these upgrades. Okay, so those are underway. In the Vernier system, of course, we're getting all of this built.
Upscaling complete.
Cool. So the Ethos Starbase has finished its upgrading. We're going to toss in another pair of trade hubs. And we're eventually going to toss in a resource silo. We'll need to wait for the month tick for that. And hope that it doesn't get immediately eaten up by our ship upgrades. But it should be okay. There we go. We're finishing up building an Ascola again. Looks good. And Vernier is going to be done soon enough. I want to head up into Bardigan.
Actualized.
Ah, they're guaranteeing the Pictlings. And this war isn't over yet. Okay, artificial moral codes have finished. Just a flat extra building slot sounds really, really good here. So we'll take that for sure. That's a solid economic upgrade. This agri world needs a job. It's maxed out for its agriculture districts. So I think for the moment we put in an industrial district to help tick into our consumer goods deficit a little bit. This agri world requires a planetary administration upgrade, and we can also put in an extra agriculture district.
Complete.
That'll be fine. The Dongar station just finished up as well. We'll get a pair of trade hubs here, and as soon as we can, a resource silo, which will be right now. As soon as the autosave is over anyway. There we go. So that's looking good. And we're just going to work our way through these upgrades for a while. Here in Vernier, we are ready to head up towards Teropia, and we're going to need alloys for that. Our engineers have restored the Oracle's Nexus to an operative state, but not without first disabling its defensive system. Evidence suggests it may have been responsible not only for keeping the station's inhabitants alive, but also for killing them. It ran complex computational models that forecast their lives with an estimated accuracy of 75%, correcting divergences and incapacitating future troublemakers before they could disrupt divine order. It has indicated it wishes to speak with us. Okay, sure, we'll initiate communications. Now, that'll tick forward, and we'll get to that in a moment. I want to tell this guy to head over to... Where was that other... That was on Mascal. Let's see here. Yeah, that's where that was. Okay, never mind. We don't have anywhere we want them to go other than heading up towards Bardigan. So that's where they'll go for now. They will definitely move up. Actually, we need to research the debris over here, so that'll be fine. The Oracle manifests as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall arthropoid female clad in long, flowing robes. She bows her head in greeting, then stares emptily ahead with hundreds of huge, orbed, unseeing eyes. They glow dimly in the gloom as she speaks. Welcome to Divinity Station, friends. I cannot help but notice that you've disabled my security system. May I implore you to restore it immediately? I can assure you that it is there only for your protection. So we could ask what happened to the inhabitants of the station, and these three will end the conversation. Okay. I have a failsafe that requires me to terminate a trial in the event of a Code 034N deviation. The research had become a threat to the Republic. What is a Code 034N deviation? The test subjects had developed free will. Free will can only be abolished with nerve gas. Oh, that sounds safe. What trial? My trial. I was designed to build and maintain a society free of crime and suffering. A utopia in which every citizen was instilled with divine purpose and lived up to their full potential, unfettered by indecision and desire. What is the Republic? The Republic is no more. Okay, so we could either get a Skill 5 Governor, we could get 10% monthly unity forever, or we could get 3,500 engineering research, 250 influence, and 1,000 alloys. That is tempting. We need all three of those. 10% monthly unity is hard to pass up. But we'll get there whether we... we'll get this maxed out whether we have that or not. I would normally choose this. Under almost any circumstance, I would choose monthly unity for the rest of the game over anything else. How much would that actually net us? 42.6. For now. That number would increase over time. And that would allow us to do additional edicts. In the late game, that would be really, 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 really useful. Far more useful than this would be. I can't pass up monthly unity plus 10% for the rest of the game. I just can't. Everything here is amazing, and I'd love to grab that. But this is just better. You'll aid in the administration of our empire. Okay, so we're going to upgrade our planetary administration over here. That looks good. We also finished up gravitic sensors. We can grab chemical plants from here. That seems fine. The board will be happy that we're working on some economic production. Always good there. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to settle this area. We're getting very close to that being done. And we are going to continue to be a little bit concerned about our defensive capacity. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.